All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the VectorVest Jockey Club. I am Jerry D'Ambrosio. Really excited to close out the week with you guys. We've had a pretty good week so far. Yesterday wasn't such a great day. Gravity actually, portfolio was running so fast. The stocks were going down so fast. Unfortunately, our limit orders didn't fill. They didn't fill until the market reversed. Got out at a small loss. What I was seeing, I want to show you a few things in the market timing graph that I was noticing. Things happen so fast right after 10 o'clock that I want to show you what I was looking at and got out of those short positions. Again, they eventually filled, but we got out right away because of a few things that I noticed on the market timing graph, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But, pretty good week so far. I think, one big day like Wednesday really helps the week. And I know, you might be playing daily games here, each and every day. Of course, you're looking to make money. I'm looking at this more so as a week. I'm playing a weekly game, and I want to play the week out where at the end of the week, I want to be up. Okay. And, we're up so far this week. Again, yesterday was a small loss, but we're up this week. So today being Friday, let's see what today has in store. It might be a day that we just sit on the sidelines and end the week in the black. And that's what you want to do each week, end the week up. So we'll see what today has in store. The futures are down big. Yeah, Alan says futures are down big today. Prepare for an up day after 10:30. That sure has been the case. Right around 10 o'clock, give or take a few minutes, we've gotten some reversals. Let's just see what the day has in store for us today. We'll look at the agenda for today. So again, a little recap of yesterday. The stocks were falling so quickly that our limit orders were not filled until after the market reversed. So we got in, at a really bad level, really bad prices. But again, I'm going to show you what I was looking at in a market timing graph once we get into the program. And that'll give you a sense of why we got out when we did, why we covered those positions when we did. All right. We're going to establish a directional bias. Again, the futures are down big today. The issues over in China, the Chinese market has fallen 20% in the last month. So they're officially entered into bear market territory, and stocks, global stocks are really taking a hit, ours included. We'll identify the movers and the shakers. We'll create some watch lists of some of the hot stocks in the hot industries. We're not going to find much today in terms of industries that are going up. The ETF short industry group is really one of the only, I haven't seen it yet, but one of the only industry groups that's actually doing well so far this morning. But we will take a look at the worst performing industry groups because our directional bias, I already know, is going to be bearish, right? That's kind of how we're heading into the open with the futures down as much as they are. So I want to look at the worst performing industries and the worst performing stocks in those industry groups. We'll create a watch list before the market opens. Then when the market opens at 9:30, we'll then analyze the top Derby performers. From what I saw a little earlier, the best performing search was ETFs, contra ETFs. Let's see. Jack says sold longs and bought QID and DXD yesterday. No longer able to buy BIS. Well, okay. Those are two contra ETFs that you're going to be in really good shape with, Jack. So you sold your longs yesterday. Great. Absolutely perfect timing. And then buying contra ETFs today, really nice. And the trend is down, folks. Remember, yesterday was a night, winded up being a very sharply higher close yesterday. We have actually a bullish candlestick pattern that formed yesterday as well. Jack says luck. I don't know about luck, but the trend of the market is still down. Okay, now that's kind of the point I was making. We do have a bullish candlestick formation, but the trend is still down, and that's what we have to go by right now. We don't have follow-through. We're not going to get follow-through today, at least at the open, with that bullish formation. So again, I'll talk about this on the market timing graph. We'll start to analyze the top Derby performers at 9:30 and right around 9:50, 10 o'clock or so. We'll look to place trades. Again, today might be a day that we sit on the sidelines. If you're sitting here on a Friday after having a pretty good week, you're up. Maybe you're up 1% or 2% or whatever it is, and you don't want to get greedy and you're okay with ending the week that way, that's fine. You can just sit on the sidelines today. Wow, Rafal says, wow, VVC is down 12 cents pre-market. That's a sharp drop there. So we'll see what the first half hour brings us. We'll look to place trades at 10 o'clock. Okay, let's see. We'll do a little Q&A at the end. Establishing a directional bias. We're going to check the futures. Everything across the major indices here are down, of course, and across the world. So the Chinese market is really the bearish sentiment there is trickling down across stocks all over the world. We'll consult the homepage. We'll look at any color guard changes. Okay. We'll then throw on extended hours, see what the pre-market behavior looks like. Looks obviously pretty bearish with the VVC down 12 cents. We'll look at a market timing graph. So I'm going to show you a few things here. I'm going to show you an end of day graph first. Again, there are signs that the market is really wanting to establish a bottom. There are signs. I know, yes, what today looks like, and a few days ago, I know that it doesn't seem that way, but there are some signs. I'll show you that on an end of day graph. I'll take you into the intraday graph yesterday. Bradley says trade today options expired today, so be careful. Absolutely, Harriet. I'll get to your comment or question in a second, but I'll show you yesterday's intraday graph and really talk about why we covered our positions here when we did. All right, and there were things that were pretty evident at the time that we did that. All right, so we'll go in the industry viewer. You know, I'll sort by percent price change descending. I'm not sure what we're going to find up at the top other than the contra ETFs. We'll also sort by ascending. Take a look at the worst performing industries. Okay. Eddie asks, do you enter a market order or a limit order? I'll talk about that in a minute, Eddie. Let me just get through the agenda really quick here. But I do want to get to that question because yesterday it burned us a little bit using limit orders. Open the best performing industries. We'll look at the best performing stocks sorted by percent price change and create watch lists of those best performing stocks. Okay. We'll also look at the Derby from the prior day's close. See what searches, see what stocks are moving pre-market, and then we'll analyze those top performers once the market opens. Look for 60% bullish or bearish. Those are pie charts, and then we'll create quick folios. Oh, and this you guys are going to be excited about this. I told you I was going to do it this week, and I'm going to show you RoboTrader today. Whether we make a selection or not, you know, we have a real account that we're using that's linked up to TradeStation. So just changing things up a little bit. You got enough exposure. We gave you enough of Trade King. I'm also going to show you too how to link up your accounts. Link up your Trade King account, link up your TradeStation account if you already have an account with them. And I'm going to show those of you who don't have an account with either those platforms to open an account, and there are special deals. Both of those brokerages are offering VectorVest subscribers special deals on commissions and opening accounts. So I'll show you both of those at the end of today. We may go a little longer today, only because I want to show you the RoboTrader and I want to show you the synergy between TradeStation and Trade King and the RoboTrader. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Try not to bail out at 10 o'clock. I may go a few minutes over because I want to show you those features. Okay, so let me open up Bloomberg. And we'll take a look at the futures, and it's just getting worse, actually. Just getting worse. Look at the major indices here. I got here an hour and a half ago, and the Dow futures were down 200 or so. Now they're down almost 400. S&P almost 50, 118 on the NASDAQ. If I scroll down, we could see stocks are getting hit hard today. There's nothing up. There's not a major index that's up. Except there's two here, the S&P TSX Composite, and that's actually, no, I'm sorry, that's as of the close of yesterday, those indices finished up. So things aren't looking great here heading into the open, but you know, we'll take a look at what's moving. Neil says this will shake out. It may. You know, it's really tough to go short. James says dead cat bounce yesterday. Yeah, it appears so. It's really tough to go short when by 10 to 10 o'clock you're ready to pull the trigger, and the Dow's down 450 points. It's just tough to go short, at that point in time. You may see more opportunities later on in the day, but we'll see. We'll see what today has in store. Don says yesterday I made 6% playing LABU 10 minutes off of the low. So great, Don. Don was seeing a very similar situation. What I was seeing right off of the low, there were clear signs that we were looking at a reversal there. Okay, and that on top of the pattern over the last week or two. of the 10 a.m. reversals. That does happen from time to time. It just seems like it's happening a lot more lately. Okay, so the 10 to 10:30 reversal, it happened again yesterday. Michael says shorted with gravity until noon, then went long with bottoms up, net gain 4%. Steven says, what were the clear signs? I'm going to show you there, Steven. I'm going to get there. So let me actually do that right now. I'm going to open up VectorVest, and this is the account we're using. Bradley says the VVC is now down 13 cents. Okay, so yeah, dead cat bounce yesterday. Really seems to be that the case. All the major indices finished sharply high yesterday. 3 yellow lights across the board. Okay. Advanced declines yesterday, we finished with a 2-to-1 ratio there, 62% compared to almost 30%. This is what we saw, though, right away. The first 15, 20 minutes or so, the market was steadily falling. The advanced decline, once again, it opened up higher, much higher, and then steadily fell. And we've seen that pattern happen a few times already this week. So we went short right about 9:45, 9:50. We decided to go short, okay? Let me just use extended hours. Okay, yeah, wow. VVC is down 13 cents a share. 161 advances, 975 declines. Wow, that's a big discrepancy. That's a 6-to-1 ratio there. Look at the VVC steadily falling here heading into the open. So we kind of get a sense of how the market's going to open, but the futures almost have been a contrarian indicator lately because they really haven't dictated, for the most part, they haven't really dictated how the day plays out. Okay, let me now move into a market timing graph. I'll get back to the S&P in a second, but here's the market timing graph of the VVC. I'm going to go to a 1-month graph. Market's falling, obviously. Okay, we had a doji. The VectorVest composite on January 12th formed a doji. That is a sign of indecision. Indecision at the end of a downtrend, when stochastics, for example, stochastics is a great indicator. It identifies oversold market situations in this case because we're looking at the market. Indecision sometimes leads to a reversal. Okay, what we want to see the next day is follow through. We never got follow through. The market never went any higher than the doji candle high. All right, so we didn't get follow through. We see a bullish Harami candlestick formation here. Okay, we also are seeing stochastics in the oversold condition, but I want you to see something here quick. It's subtle, but look at the market yesterday. It actually hit a new intraday low, right? And the market had been steadily falling. Look at stochastics, though. It's actually moving higher as the market's falling. That suggests that the downtrend is getting a little tired and a reversal is likely, but again, we don't have follow through again today. So price action isn't really dictating that. We're starting to see signs of it, but every day now we're not getting that follow through that we're looking for. So Archie says yesterday was a spinning top. Yes, it was. See, the body is relatively right in the middle of the highs and the lows, but it's also, spinning top along with a bullish Harami pattern. But again, no follow through today. All right, so that's an end of day look. If you look at the S&P, you're seeing the same thing. You see the S&P stochastic steadily rise here as the market's hitting new lows. We have a bullish Harami pattern here, but again, we're looking at a sharply lower open today, which means we're not getting that follow through. Bernstein says follow through may come later. Yes, it may. It may. So that's a good point, Bernstein. Sometimes it doesn't happen the very next day, but we're not seeing anything here in terms of reversal indications. We're not seeing higher highs. The market can kind of stay low here for a little bit, really suggesting indecision. Bulls and bears are battling, not moving prices any higher or lower than that range. And then it breaks through eventually. So we may see that, okay? Then we look at a 1-day graph here now, and I'm going to just zoom in on yesterday. Okay, this is what we were seeing yesterday. I'm going to take off stochastics for a second. Okay, so we saw a little bounce at about 9:40, and right at 9:52, when the market made a new low, if you remember, hopefully you do, we decided to go short. We went short with gravity. It was the top performing search. And we didn't wind up placing orders until about 9:35, 9:53, 9:54. We got 14 minutes left, plenty of time. Now those orders, because the market was falling so fast, those limit orders didn't get filled. So Eddie asked a question: do you use market or limit? We always enter with limit orders, okay? However, there comes a time when you're faced with a situation that you don't get filled because the stocks are blowing by those limit orders and moving too fast. What you could do is you can just go ahead, if you really want to get into the position, change the order to a market order. Okay, we always try to enter it on limit orders, and we for the most part we haven't had an issue with getting filled because the run hasn't been as severe. Obviously here to the downside. So we didn't wind up getting filled until a little after 10 o'clock. Okay, Steven says 8 a.m. reversal statistically 82% of the time. Interesting. So we started to see a little reversal here. Okay. Bullish Harami candlestick formation, oversold, market started to rise, then started to kind of pull back, and then get this big green candle. And this is happening so fast. I'm sitting here watching it. Big green candle, stochastics indicator, just crossed above that 20 level back here. So I'm starting to see the market establish higher lows. I'm starting to see the stochastics climbing, stochastic indicator coming above 20. And what am I seeing in the portfolio? I'm seeing the portfolio start to pull back tremendously. So I decided to close the positions about 5 or 10 minutes later. Okay, so I saw the market establishing higher lows and higher highs. I saw stochastics climbing. It's right after 10 o'clock. Oh, this is the S&P. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Here's the VectorVest composite. Same thing. Here's the big green candle. Stochastics is coming up off the lower level. We got a few more confirmation minutes. I see the portfolio pulling back. We're in the red a little bit, not too much. Close the position, and you're keeping your powder dry for the day. Okay. Robert says, what was the percentage loss? It was about a 0.4% loss, Robert. Not too bad. We got out at a really good level, about 0.5%. All right, so that's the market here. Again, looking at the S&P over the last 3 months, we're in an oversold condition. You're kind of expecting a rally, but we wait for follow through. We wait for that rally to start. Doesn't look like it's going to start today. Okay. All right, let me go into the viewers, and I'm going to go into the industry viewer now. So we go to viewers, industry viewer. I'll sort by percentage price change descending. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to find at the top. ETF short, mining gold and silver is actually doing well today. So it's running inverse of the major indices. A lot of ETFs here, a lot of ETFs industry groups. So traders are selling shares of individual stocks, and it looks like they're kind of transitioning now into some of these ETFs. So we'll look at ETF short. Let me pull that over from my other monitor. Sort by percent price change. See what's at the very top of the list here. All right, so we have, I saw this one, this RUSS. This is actually in the Derby as well. So a lot of these are already in the Derby. So I'm just going to highlight the top 11 or so. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to add to watch list. And we're going to create a new watch list for today. And we're going to call it Trade Ops Bearish. And today is the 15th. Okay, so this is our cherry-picked watch list. We're looking to possibly cherry-pick some stocks after the market opens, and we're using the worst performing industries currently in pre-market. We're using that method there to find stocks. Excuse me, these are the best performing industries. Mining gold and silver. Okay, sort by percentage price change. All right, let's see what we have at the top. HMY, SBGL. If I scroll over, I just want to make sure that there's liquidity here. Yeah, for the most part, they all trade enough. So I'm just going to tag these. And this is going to be our bullish watch list, okay? Because the contra ETFs, those are bearish trades. They're long. You buy them just like you would a stock. You want it to go up, but it's placed in a bearish market. Okay, so it's considered a bearish trade, but it's a long position. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me create a new watch list now, and I'm going to call this Trade Ops bullish. And today is the 15th, excuse me. Okay, click on add. So now we have two watch lists, bullish and bearish. Let me go back to the industry viewer. And we'll take a look at one more. Let's see, food agriculture. We'll take a look at that one. And let's see what we have in here. It looks like only one stock here, two stocks up. Well, CERE, that's a penny stock. Trades 312,000 shares on average. I'm going to skip over that one though. We'll put a SYT in our bullish watch list. All right, so what we're doing here, folks, for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, we are just creating watch lists of potential cherry picking candidates. You know, we know that these stocks are moving here pre-market. We know that they are, okay? After the market opens, depending on our established bias, directional bias, whether it's long or short, we have a working list. We have a hit list of stocks that we can go back to and say, well, I remember creating that watch list. All those stocks were moving. How are they doing now after the market opens? And if they're continuing to follow through, you may select those as trades for today. Douglas says extended hours. Yes, Douglas, I am using extended hours. You can see the check mark there. You can also see the time up at the top. It's 9:23. So we've got about 7 minutes till the market opens. All right, let me go to the industry viewer. And now I'm going to sort by percentage price change ascending to give us the worst performing industry so far this morning up at the top. So electronic miscellaneous products, if I double click on that, we want to now sort by percent price change ascending as well, because we're going to look to short these stocks. Let's see what's going down here this morning. Okay, we have a few. Samsung, GoPro, OTIV, Microvision. So we're going to take those. Okay, and we're going to, let me just make sure that the liquidity is there. Whoops, what was it for? Yeah, that top stock, 17, I don't know what that is, 17 shares on average. So we're going to take the other ones, and we're going to put those in our bearish watch list folder. All right, trade ops bearish for today is the 15th. There we go. Remember, there are some contra ETFs in here, though. All right, there are some contra ETFs in here. So if I close out of that, go back to the industry viewer. Pretty sure, yep, it's sorted by percent price change. Healthcare marijuana, let's see. I know there's only one stock in here that we could even short. There's a lot of penny stocks in here. But GWPH, this is interesting. I remember this stock not too long ago. It was 80-something dollars. Let me right-click on it, view the stock graph. Yeah, not too long ago, it was up to 80 bucks. So this stock has really fallen. This is a great shorting candidate. Folks, it's looking like it's establishing a new low here today, and it's really going down hard, and it's down another 5.5% today. So, really good opportunity, a short opportunity. I believe it's optionable as well. Let me just make sure. So those of you who don't want to short or can't short, it is optionable. Yeah, so you can buy the puts. Imagine, folks. Imagine a 5, a 6, a 7% gain on a stock in a day. Imagine what that put option would return. So really, if you don't short, contra ETFs is your alternative, but play the same security, trade the same security, but just buy the put as opposed to having to short the stock. You don't need a margin account. There aren't any restrictions for the most part, unless you're in a very strict retirement account, but hopefully you're not doing what we're doing here in a retirement account, trading like we're trading in a retirement account. But put options are a really nice alternative. All right, let me go back into the industry viewer, sort by percent price change again. Oil is still falling, so there are some opportunities in here, no question. Let me just sort. There's only two. CEO Phillips again. Both of these stocks, look at the RTs here, well below 1. So these stocks are really nice shorting opportunities. They're both optionable as well. All right, and you may get much better liquidity, the option liquidity on these stocks than you would on the one we looked at earlier, the marijuana stock. All right, so let me go back. What time is it? 3 minutes left till the market opens. Perfect. We'll use one more industry, internet e-commerce. William says, okay, tough. Yep, this is what I thought. William says, tough to trade GWPH puts as the spreads are very large. That's what I thought. Again, you're probably going to get much better spreads with the two petroleum stocks than you would the marijuana stocks. Good point. All right, let me. Of course, you have to look at that stuff. You know, we're not seeing that at face value. Just looking at the stock, you have to look at the option liquidity. Wow, Robert says $3 wide spread. Yeah, you may want to stay away from that one if you're not going to short it. There's other stocks in here that are all optionable. Look, so we're in the internet e-commerce industry. I sorted by percent price change ascending. Look at these. We're going to take them all. We're going to take most of these. I'm just going to tag them all here. All of them at the top. I'm going to take them all. I'm going to put it in our bearish watch list folder. They're all optionable. Wonderful. So we're good. We're prepared now. We kind of did the legwork. You know, it took a few minutes, but we got two watch lists ready. We got a bullish watch list. Bradley says the VVC just dumped. let me go back to a graph. Let me go to the market timing graph. Let me go intraday, 1 minute bars, current day. Yeah, it is getting killed here heading into the open. So, you know, we'll see. You know, we've seen this before, not as severe. This is unbelievable here. What we're seeing heading into the open with about less than a minute to go. But we'll see. We'll see how today plays out. Again, it might be just a day that we sit out. That's completely up to you. We'll see what things look like at 10 o'clock. And waiting until 10 o'clock, give or take a minute or two, a few minutes like we've done, has worked out for us more so than it hasn't. And that's kind of what you want. You know, nothing's perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You know, please, if you find something that works 100% of the time, please tell me. But it's not going to do that. So you just want to have more days that work for you than don't. Okay. So you can see the VVC dropping off a cliff here. Kinch says, yeah, if you're trading stocks with good volume and stocks with small spreads, bid and ask, there is usually not a problem using market orders. Absolutely right, Kinch. Yeah, so the spreads play a big part in it, because if you set a market order, if you place a market order on a stock that has a very wide spread, you are, whoa, look at the VectorVest composite here. Bradley says, goodbye, VVC. Yeah, look at that. Let's see, major indices open. Dow opened down 158, VVC down 51. You know, for those of you who like to take a little risk, and I know you're out there, let's look at our watch list here, our bearish watch list, because let's look at some of these stocks. Let me go to stream here one more time. All right, from the open now, though, you got to realize from the open, there's only a few of these stocks that are moving. All right, let me minimize this. Let me go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to turn off extended hours. Let me go back to the market timing graph. Intraday, I'll get to the Derby in 1 second. 1 minute bars, current day. Okay, so here's the current day so far. I'm going to stop here right around 10 o'clock. Okay, so here's the VVC. If I go into the Derby now, I got to change it from the prior close to the market open. Robert says, I'm up $300 on SPXS and MOO. I'm done for the day. Very nice, Robert. See? Yeah, what did I just said? If for those of you who like to take a little risk and get in early, I was probably speaking to you directly there, Robert. Got in early, out with a nice gain. Good. That's really smart. So what do we see here? We see 81% of the bearish searches making money, 26% bullish. Gravity up at the top. This is the one that we selected yesterday. They were running so fast that the orders didn't get filled. That's okay. There's GWPH. There's that marijuana stock, that pharmaceutical here in there. Nice gain already, 2%. LOXO is up 8%. Equity curve looks good. So 70% winners here, 1.84% gain, 81%. Now we're at 71%. Okay. And let's see. It looks like Downhill Racers is performing pretty well. Only 50% though. I'm going to skip over Downhill Racers. Doug's Downers. So from the open, folks, though, look, we're seeing some bullish searches. We're seeing some bullish searches up at the top of the list. So